Hello and welcome to Spirit Touched. Go tell it. Matthew 28:19. There's another old hymn that says we have a story to tell to the nations, and we do. It's a story about the kingdom of our God. People all over the world are hungry and thirsty for this wonderful story. It, to fall on their ears. It will set their hearts in the right direction because it's a story of God's love for them and His light that will guide them. Every time we tell this story, it brings that kingdom closer to us and the ones hearing it. We say we want peace. Well, this is a story of peace. Telling this story brings peace to hearts and minds, many of which are war torn and weary, full of fear, sick with grief for the loss of loved ones, loss of their homes, some even wondering if they will ever see kidnapped loved ones again. These precious people need this story of hope, mercy, and grace. This story that renews strength, that lets them know there's a God who cares about and for them. It's a life saving story. It saved yours. That's why we all need to tell others our stories so that they can also be touched by it just like we were the first time we heard it. Many of these people will never hear it unless we do tell it. It's a powerful story. Don't keep those hungry, thirsty souls and those achy, breaky hearts waiting any longer to hear it. In fact, there are some who are literally dying to hear it, so don't let that happen. It's a without them hearing it. It's a story we all should be proud to share with anyone who will listen. Don't make them wait any longer. Tell it. Don't miss the chance of hearing them tell you, "Thank you for telling me. You saved my life." It's a story to go too good to contain. So don't keep it locked up inside. Let it out so God can bring the hearer into his kingdom. Matthew 5:15. If we don't tell it, then we are guilty of hiding our light under that Matthew 25, 1 through 13 bushel, and God is not pleased. Don't be like the 5 maidens who let their candles go out while they were waiting for the bridegroom to come. You see, every time we tell this story, the light gets brighter and the bridegroom's coming gets closer. It's a story that can change tears of sorrow into tears of gladness. Yes, there will be times when it falls on deaf ears, but don't let that stop you from telling it. Why? Because it may be just the encouragement those deaf ears need. We should never get tired of telling this story because there are those who never get tired of hearing it. It doesn't just excite the person you are telling it to, it also excites God and His angels. When we start telling it to someone who needs to hear it, a hush falls over heaven so that it can be heard up there. Yes, it's an old story, but it's still packed with power and all the glory of heaven. It's the story of a cradle that leads to a Savior on a old rugged cross that leads to an empty grave. Yes, Peter and Paul, along with others, have been thrown in jail for telling it, but that they didn't let that stop them. They just kept on telling it in those cold, dark jail cells. Guess what? Other prisoners and even the guards who heard it got saved. It even opened those jail doors. Hearing it is what set those prisoners free, because it opened the jail doors of their hearts to let out their sin. Giving you these lessons is my way of telling it. There are those who are praying, Lord, please help. Hearing this story may be just the help they are asking for, and you are God's answer to them by telling it. What a blessing to be an answer to someone's prayer. It's a story that breaks down strongholds. It tears down walls of hate because it's the truth. It casts down lies. I hope these lessons have helped you to see what this amazing story of love and forgiveness can do. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's a story worth telling. It's part of our job to tell it. If we don't tell, who will? It's the story that can light up the cold, dark world and bring evil to its knees by shattering the weapons of war. This story has a happy ending because those who hear it and act on it will live happily ever after with Jesus in the kingdom of heaven. The reason it's so powerful and beautiful is that it doesn't just come from the Bible, it comes from the heart of the one telling it into the heart of the one hearing it. So please go tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere that Jesus Christ is born and he came to save. You may send your prayer requests to He Answers TWO at gmail.com.